I'm a brand new beekeeper, and as I'm learning and exploring around the internet about beekeeping, one thing that keeps popping up is the issues that beekeepers are facing that historically have been different. Things like honey prices, fake honey, the mite issue, all these different things that really don't encourage people to get into beekeeping. Once you're into beekeeping, I think you see it more as a hurdle to overcome or a war to wage to have good, healthy bees over time while overcoming things like mites and financial issues and fake honey and all the other things that beekeepers face. Recently, I came across this video where two beekeepers were talking specifically about the financial side. And it got me thinking about something that my professional career has pulled me into. So take a look at this video real quick, and let's talk about the financial side of beekeeping and why it kind of
I
sucks.
guess for someone who knows nothing about the beekeeping industry, we keep talking about how we're struggling, but what are the points that are making us struggle as beekeepers?
Our balance sheet is is we have zero equity because we have debt that we're not able to pay because we can't get a decent price for our honey. We're competing with a foreign labor market that they don't have they don't pay the taxes we pay, they don't pay the wages we pay, and the regulations, none of those things come into play in the price of their honey at the same level it is in the US, and yet we're told that we have to sell our honey at the price of the world market. And it's not the math does not add up.
So in the video, the gentleman describes that the biggest issue that they face, or one of the biggest issues they face, is the balance sheet. I believe that this is not a thing that's restricted to beekeeping. If you look around at other industries, both adjacent to beekeeping and outside of that, other places might be beekeeping supply lines for hardware or goods, services, workers, the bees themselves. All these are part of a beekeeper supply line. And if you go into agriculture, they have just as broad, if not more, supply lines that are going to be impacted by financial issues. And I think a lot of those issues that they face are rooted in things like inflation. If the goal is always I need to make more money because my profits are getting slimmer, then the person who suffers the most is the person at the beginning of the chain. So the beekeeper is the one who's producing honey that has to be sold. So it goes through a wholesaler potentially and then on to a retailer, gets sold directly to consumers who are already struggling due to price increases on other products, making the honey harder to sell. I believe there's an answer to this. And I believe that answer is to change the financial structure of your average beekeeping operation. To do this, you would integrate something that I believe can fix the problem, which is Bitcoin. And I don't mean integrate Bitcoin in the sense that you just buy and sell Bitcoin. I mean, if you look around at corporate strategies that are all over the globe at this point, from Japan to the United States to various other countries around the globe, corporations are adopting Bitcoin treasuries. Some corporations have 500,000 Bitcoin. Some corporations are making their first purchases right now. 3 years ago, Bitcoin was primarily bought by individuals, not entities. So, not many corporations evolved 2, 3 years ago. Now, there's way more corporations involved. Governments are getting involved. But the retail investor, the average person, in large part, beat Wall Street to Bitcoin. And by that, I mean there are way more people with Bitcoin than there are entities with Bitcoin. This is the first time in history this has kind of happened where a new investment became available and the first people to get it was Wall Street versus, or excuse me, were Main Street versus Wall Street. But the people that aren't going to get it, I think, until after Wall Street, is those dirt roads. The agriculture industry, highlighting on bees in this instance, are working off of a dollar standard, and the dollar is devalued every year. Every year, the United States government prints more money. More money creates more inflation. More inflation causes more cuts and other things to happen that result in less profit for everyone in the chain. Although the numerical amount of dollars they get may be more, but it just hurts all the way down the chain. And I'd like to have a conversation with someone in the beekeeping industry, Because as I start my beekeeping journey, I've got a lot of experiments that I want to try. I've got a lot of things that I'm going to do differently because I don't have a lot at risk with only 2 hives. But it sounds like the people over at BeFit Beekeeping are open to new types of conversation. And as the gentleman said in the video, the, there are the numbers just don't add up. So that said, I think Bitcoin as a reserve asset for small industries, all the way up to big industries across the agricultural sector, has the potential to really impact um, the farmer, the beekeeper's bottom line in a positive way. And I'd love to talk to someone, particularly the folks from BeFit, to discuss this idea and help them understand my side, which is the Bitcoin side, but I'm coming at it from a beginning beekeeper's perspective. That's you can also cater to the Bitcoin community, and the Bitcoin community typically likes natural products produced by someone who cares about the products they make. And because they understand inflation, they'll often spend money or pay in Bitcoin to get the products that they want, the products that are better. We hate seed oils typically. We like meat, honey, raw milk, all those things. Bitcoin and beekeeping, oddly enough, I believe, line up pretty well. So all that said, I'd really like to talk to somebody. If this video finds anybody who's willing to chat, let's get together on a online Zoom or whatever you want to do, and let's chat about it.